Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing you've traveled back more than 20,000 years. No phones, no electricity, no cities, no supermarkets, just endless snow, freezing winds, and giant creatures roaming the earth. Welcome to the Ice Age. At first, it might not seem that bad. You've seen snow before. Maybe you've even dreamed about living in a winter wonderland. But after stepping outside, reality hits you immediately. The air is brutally cold. Every breath feels like tiny needles stabbing your lungs. The temperature is far below freezing, and the clothes you're wearing from the modern world are completely useless. Your hoodie, worthless. Your sneakers frozen within hours. If you don't find shelter soon, your adventure will become very short. You begin walking across the icy landscape. Snow crunches beneath your feet. The horizon stretches endlessly in every direction. There are no roads, no signs, and no buildings. Just wilderness. Then you spot something moving in the distance. A massive creature covered in thick fur. Long curved tusks towering over everything around it. A mammoth. You've seen pictures before, but standing near one is completely different. It's larger than most vehicles and powerful enough to crush you without even noticing. Suddenly, the Ice Age doesn't feel like a museum exhibit anymore. It feels terrifying. The first challenge isn't food. It isn't predators, it's warmth. Modern humans underestimate how deadly cold can be. You can survive weeks without food, days without water. But in extreme cold, poor decisions can kill you in a single night. As the sun begins setting, panic starts creeping in. The temperature drops even further. The wind becomes stronger. You need shelter fast. You search the landscape until you discover a small, rocky overhang that blocks some of the wind. It's not perfect, but it's better than sleeping in the open. Now comes another problem: fire. You know what fire is. You've started campfires before. But knowing how fire works and actually creating one in the wilderness are completely different things. There are no lighters, no matches, no gas stations, and no convenience stores. Everything depends on your ability to create a spark and keep it alive. After several frustrating attempts, you finally manage to get a small flame going. The warmth feels incredible. For the first time all day, you feel hope. But that hope disappears the next morning. Because now you're hungry. Very hungry. Modern humans are used to having food available everywhere. Open a refrigerator, order delivery, visit a restaurant. Back in the Ice Age, none of those options exist. Every calorie must be earned. You begin searching for food. Maybe you'll find berries, except it's winter. Maybe you'll catch a fish, except you don't have equipment. Maybe you'll hunt an animal, except you've never hunted anything larger than a mosquito. The reality becomes you are completely unprepared for this world. Days pass. Your energy drops. Your body burns enormous amounts of calories just trying to stay warm. Then one afternoon, you notice movement. A group of hunters. Real Ice Age humans. This could save your life, or end it. You don't speak their language. You don't understand their customs. For all they know, you're a strange outsider appearing from nowhere. The hunters notice you. For several tense moments, nobody moves. Then one of them approaches cautiously. They're dressed in animal hides, carrying primitive weapons. Their faces show curiosity mixed with suspicion. You attempt to communicate awkwardly, using hand gestures, pointing, smiling, trying not to look dangerous. Eventually, they decide not to kill you, which is already a huge win. They bring you back to their camp. And this is where your understanding of history changes forever. Most people imagine prehistoric humans as primitive and unintelligent. That's completely wrong. These people are survivors, experts. Every skill they possess has been perfected through generations of experience. They know how to track animals, predict weather, find water, build shelters, create tools, navigate vast landscapes. Meanwhile, you struggle to tie basic knots. In many ways, they're far more capable than the average modern person. You quickly realize something uncomfortable. If civilization disappeared tomorrow, most modern humans would be helpless, including you. Life in the tribe is difficult. Every day revolves around survival. Nobody gets weekends. Nobody watches through social media. Every hour is spent solving real problems, finding food, repairing tools, gathering fuel, protecting the group, preparing for winter storms. The strongest hunters become heroes, not because they're famous, but because everyone depends on them. One successful hunt can mean the difference between life and death for dozens of people. And speaking of hunts, one morning, the tribe prepares for something enormous: a mammoth hunt. Everyone is nervous because mammoths aren't just food, they're opportunities. A single mammoth can provide meat, fur, bones, tools, and materials that may support a community for months. But hunting one is incredibly dangerous. One mistake could get someone killed. The hunters moved carefully across the frozen landscape, tracking footprints, watching the herd, waiting for the right moment. Then it happens. The attack begins. Spears fly through the air. Hunters shout. The mammoths panic. The ground shakes beneath your feet. Everything becomes chaos. The massive animals charge in every direction. One wrong step and you're finished. The sheer size of these creatures is unbelievable. Each one weighs several tons. Standing near them feels like standing beside moving mountains. After a long and exhausting struggle, the hunters succeed. The camp celebrates. For the first time since arriving in the Ice Age, everyone can relax slightly. Food is secured, at least for now. But the Ice Age always finds new ways to remind you who's in charge. A storm arrives, and it's unlike anything you've ever experienced. The wind screams across the landscape. Snow falls so heavily that visibility disappears. Temperatures plunge. Even inside shelter, people struggle to stay warm. You begin understanding why ancient humans feared nature. Not because they were superstitious, but because nature was genuinely powerful. A storm could destroy weeks of preparation. A harsh winter could wipe out entire communities. There was no emergency hotline, no weather forecast, no rescue team coming to help. Only survival. As months pass, you adapt. You learn how to make tools. You learn how to conserve energy. You learn how to identify danger before it arrives. The world that once seemed terrifying slowly becomes familiar. But then, another challenge appears. Predators. One evening, while returning to camp, you notice something following you. At first, it's just a shadow, a movement. Then you see its eyes, watching from the darkness. A giant Ice Age predator, larger than any wolf you've ever seen. Patient, silent, waiting. For a moment, you understand what ancient humans felt every single day. You are not the ruler of this world. You are prey. Your heart pounds. Every instinct screams at you to run, but running may trigger a chase. So you move carefully, slowly, trying not to show fear. The predator follows, step after step. The distance closes. Then suddenly, voices, members of the tribe, appear behind you, carrying torches. The animal hesitates, growls, and finally disappears into the darkness. You survive, but the lesson remains. Out here, danger is always nearby. Years pass. You become stronger, smarter, more resilient. The person who first arrived in the Ice Age barely exists anymore. You no longer dream about smartphones or fast food or social media. You've adapted to a completely different reality. And that's when you discover the greatest surprise of all. Humans belong here, not specifically in the Ice Age, but in difficult environments. Throughout history, humans have crossed deserts, climbed mountains, survived wars, endured disasters, and adapted to conditions that seemed impossible. The secret wasn't strength. Humans aren't the fastest animals. We're not the biggest. We're not the strongest. Our real superpower is adaptation. We learn, we cooperate, we solve problems. And that's exactly why humanity survived the Ice Age. While countless other species disappeared forever, the mammoths eventually vanished. Many giant predators vanished. Entire ecosystems changed. But humans remained. Because whenever the world changes, humans change with it. So if you suddenly woke up in the Ice Age tomorrow, would it be easy? Absolutely not. It would be terrifying, dangerous, and incredibly difficult. But if history has proven anything, it's given enough time, humans can adapt to almost anything. Even a frozen world at the edge of survival. The question is, how long would it take before you stopped being a visitor in the Ice Age and started becoming part of it?